Mark Carney and Danielle Smith sign a major energy agreement.
It's a great day for Alberta. It's a great day for Canada.
The fine print in this MOU that could one day lead to a new oil pipeline through northern BC.
There is a requirement for consultation, and indeed, we believe that there's an imperative for Indigenous ownership.
Plus, 3 Calgary officers are charged after allegations of sexual misconduct.
We take these matters extremely seriously.
At least 6 Calgary women say they have been victimized. And expanding the opportunities at YYC. A reinforced runway reopens and more flights line up to land.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Thank you very much.
Well, here's something you don't see every day. A Liberal Prime Minister of Canada getting a standing ovation at a Calgary Chamber of Commerce event. Mark Carney himself seemed a little taken aback by the enthusiasm. He joked the last time he was at a Chamber event, there were 20 people around the table. Today, about 1,000 business leaders turned out to hear him speak. Hello, and thank you for joining us. Mark Carney addressed that Chamber luncheon on the heels of signing a brand new energy agreement with Danielle Smith. The Memorandum of Understanding lays out the conditions for a new oil pipeline. We have team coverage tonight. Jacqueline Wilson is getting reaction from the business community, the energy sector, and environmentalists. Alicia Philberg is getting political reaction. BC's Premier and some in Mark Carney's own cabinet are not happy. But we start with Tim Brooke, who has the nuts and bolts of the agreement. And Tim, it lays out precisely what is necessary for a pipeline to the Pacific to proceed.
Yes, Tara, as you mentioned there, the agreement should pave the way for Alberta to move more bitumen, not only to the coast, but to some in-demand markets overseas, specifically in Asia. But it's worth noting here, this is just the first step in what's sure to be an extremely long journey.
Pen finally to paper. A long-rumored memorandum of understanding was officially signed Thursday. Most notably, it'll open the door to a new crude pipeline from northern Alberta to the Pacific.
Today is a great day for the people of Alberta and for all of Canada.
The idea is to eventually move at least 1 million additional barrels of oil a day. The line will need Indigenous co-ownership and approval and will have to include economic benefits for BC.
We look at this as the start of a process. We've created some of the necessary conditions for this to happen, but there's a lot more work to do.
Timelines are still murky. Alberta will submit its official pipeline application and route by July 1st. If that's approved, the fastest best-case scenario could see shovels in the ground by 2029 and oil flowing by the mid to late 2030s. It'll all need to be driven by a private proponent. No federal or provincial taxpayer money will be involved.
If there's not a private sector proponent, there won't be a pipeline.
I'm pretty confident with the people we have at the table that one or a consortium of them, once we establish that it is on the major projects list, will be willing to take this on.
And there are other terms. Alberta must construct thousands of megawatts of AI computing power and increase its industrial carbon price. In theory, that should help drastically lower oil patch methane emissions to a new target of 75%. There's also a promise to construct and finance the Pathways Alliance carbon capture project.
We are going to get to our greenhouse gas objectives, our climate objectives, by only through massive investment. And so we need agreements like this in order to drive that massive investment.
Ottawa has also agreed to suspend its proposed emissions cap and Alberta's clean electricity requirement. A big win ahead of a big task for the Danielle Smith government.
This is Alberta's moment of opportunity. Our opportunity to show the nation, as well as the entire world, that resource development and emissions reduction can not only coexist, but can actually complement one another.
Now, the Premier said today that the PM has agreed to address 7 of her 9 so-called bad laws. I know a lot of viewers out there will want to know what will be made of the tanker ban. Well, we can tell you tonight that federal government officials have said adjustments will be made to that ban should a pipeline be approved and then eventually built. We don't have specifics of what that might look like, but I can tell you that a lot of people in the province are thrilled about that, and they feel like any carve-out will be sufficient. Tara?
Okay, Tim, thank you for that. Jacqueline Wilson joins us now. Jackie, we saw Calgary's Chamber host the Prime Minister today. So how is the overall business community reacting?
Yes, Tara. So I was at that chamber meeting today, and, the Prime Minister quite surprised and happy with that applause, the standing ovation that we saw and received. And he probably was a little surprised because it's something that his predecessor, Justin Trudeau, would have never received from Calgary's energy community. Outside of the Chamber of Commerce luncheon today, Premier Smith saying that this was really a big win for our province.
Thank you.
A warm welcome for Prime Minister Mark Carney on Thursday in front of a packed crowd of energy executives and Chamber of Commerce members.
This morning's announcement heralds truly a new era in the relationship between Alberta and Ottawa.
The Memorandum of Understanding is also being celebrated by the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers.
The elimination of the emissions cap, changes to the greenwashing legislation, and the commitment to expand our access to global markets can be the catalyst to unlock Canada's full economic potential, to invite new investment into major projects, and to enable our country to take our rightful place as the world's next energy superpower.
While the announcement was being celebrated in downtown Calgary, some environmental advocates are shocked the Prime Minister signed this deal.
This is taking us completely in the wrong way economically and environmentally. This is actually much worse than I expected. It's not only about a new pipeline. It's also about delaying the methane regulations. It's about exempting Alberta from the clean electricity regulations.
No private company has publicly come forward to build this project, though 3 have been consulting with the province. And one former energy executive raises a good question, even if one proponent eventually materializes.
The question is, who pays for it? Is there any economic value in this, or is it just something that puts Canada at a competitive disadvantage? And I think that's really going to be very hard bargaining.
Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
Now, following today's pipeline deal, Mark Carney lost to Cabinet Minister. Stephen Guilbeault says he is resigning because of this agreement. Trudeau's former Environment Minister does plan to stay on as MP. Alicia Fieldberg joins us now. Alicia, political leaders from various levels of government across the country are weighing in.
Well, Terry, you mentioned Stephen Guilbeault walked from Cabinet. Some of the key political parties required for this proposed pipeline to become a reality are staunchly opposed, and it's not the only hurdle for it to become a reality. Still, some say that this memorandum does offer opportunities as well.
The path is open for Alberta's government to pursue a pipeline to deliver crude to British Columbia's coast for Asian markets, but many hurdles lie ahead. For starters, the proposed Alberta-BC project only has support from one of those provinces.
Had BC been at the table, the agreement wouldn't have omitted basic things like, are we going to do anything about spill response? Or we would have canvassed potential win-win scenarios.
Coastal Indigenous groups along the proposed path say the risk of oil spills outweighs any financial benefit for them.
We are not interested in being equity partners in a project that has the potential to destroy everything that we have built.
Then there's the challenge of finding private sector investment.
With oil under $60 a barrel, that's a harder case to make right now.
Federal opponents are opposed in different ways. The Conservatives think the memorandum isn't strong enough, and the Liberals should just approve a permit for a pipeline to the West Coast.
Isn't it true that this isn't a pipeline, it's a pipe dream?
The Bloc worries this opens the gate for similar projects discussed by the federal government and only some of the parties involved.
It's the federal government making a deal in order to backstab a province and its jurisdiction and its desire and what they want and what they do not want, because Ottawa has decided with Edmonton and Calgary that this is how things are going to happen.
Despite all this, political watchers say the memorandum opens conversations.
Maybe another route, maybe a further expansion of TMX, maybe building this pipeline. I think there are possibilities in this current economic and political climate.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
In other news tonight, 3 Calgary police officers are facing serious charges involving improper sexual relations and sharing of intimate photos. Kevin Green was at a press conference with the police chief this afternoon. So Kevin, walk us through the charges that these officers face.
Tara, while saying these are some of the most serious charges police officers can face, Chief Constable Katie McClellan said the 3 officers in question have been relieved from duty without pay, and one of them is now no longer an officer. That one is 14-year police veteran Constable Adam McBride. He resigned yesterday after being charged with 4 counts of breach of trust. Police say he met women during the course of his duties and had or attempted to have personal and sexual contact with them, both on and off duty. A second officer, 17-year veteran Constable David Harms, is suspended without pay and charged with 2 counts of breach of trust. Police allege he was aware of and encouraged or facilitated McBride's conduct. And in a related investigation, Constable Tyler Hobberstad, a 6-year veteran of the service, is charged with breach of trust and distributing an intimate image after investigators say he shared a photo of a partially nude woman without consent. Police would not elaborate on how the 2 investigations are linked, but did say even though the charges have been laid, the investigation is still ongoing.
We take these matters extremely seriously. This investigation and sharing this news with you today, as I have already said, reflects our commitment to thorough and transparent accountability.
The chief confirmed that there were 6 women involved and that the investigation started this January, but the allegations go back to May of 2023 and continued into March of this year. All 3 officers are due in court in January. The chief says they are still looking to see if there are more victims. Tara?
Okay, Kevin Green reporting. Kevin, thank you. A woman hit by a car along McLeod Trail last week has died. Around 9 p.m. last Friday, a woman in her 30s was struck while crossing McLeod Trail. She was taken to hospital where she died from injuries yesterday. Police say the driver had a green light and the pedestrian was hit outside a marked crosswalk. There have been 14 fatal pedestrian collisions this year and more than 400 resulting in injuries. Well, Danielle joins us now from the Skywatch Weather Center. We got a sneak peek ahead to our weather. Is there snow coming tonight?
Yeah, we should get some snow. Now, we're going to be on the edge of this system, so we're not going to see as much as they're seeing to the south of us, but we should see about 5 centimeters in the city, but most of that will be while we're sleeping. Another key thing to note is that tomorrow will be much colder than today. So if you thought today was cold, well, brace yourself. -7 is the temperature right now at the airport, with the wind chill feels closer to -11. Your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit 5thAvVW.com. And the best it gets really tomorrow is -11 with a wind chill of -19. And at times it will feel well into the -20s because the winds will pick up. Now, when we're talking snowfall, it should start around 7 o'clock tonight in the city and then last through the overnight hours and likely impact the morning commute. Again, it shouldn't be as heavy here, but 5 centimeters could certainly slow things down a little bit. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. A fiscal update from Alberta today shows oil prices and global uncertainty continue to weigh on the province's bottom line. The deficit has not gone down, but the finance minister says there are signs of optimism. And later, an update on Ottawa's housing accelerator funding, how it may impact Calgary builds and when. Have you noticed the price of gas this week? Today, it's hovering around $1.10 a litre at many Calgary stations. The lower price is because of the switch over to cheaper winter gas and fewer people driving in the cold. The price of oil is also a factor, with it sitting below $60 a barrel. Alberta's second quarter fiscal update shows the province holding its deficit steady despite softer oil prices and global uncertainty. The province is forecasting a $6.4 billion deficit, which is virtually unchanged from the first quarter. Resource revenue is down 36% to $15.7 billion. The government says lower royalties, a slower global economy, and trade pressures are dragging down provincial revenues. Alberta's finance minister says he's working to find a balance between controlling spending and still supporting services.
We may not be able to control external factors, but we can control our spending to protect the vital services Albertans rely on. We will continue to invest wisely, build up the Heritage Fund, and pay down debt during the good years. Then, during difficult years, such as this one, we exercise prudent financial management to ensure we support essential government services for future generations.
The province says it's also boosting healthcare, education, and capital spending, and it's holding more than $2 billion in contingency funds for the rest of the fiscal year. Let's bring Danielle back in again. I'm not loving this whole, it's going to feel like -20 tomorrow.
I know. We really have to be ready for that because it's always a shock to the system.
That's parka weather.
Right. But then by February, we're so used to it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
we just got to get used to this. And we're getting used to the snow, right? I guess, somewhat, because there's a little more on the way. Here you go. We don't have the snow yet, but we do have some fog that has moved in, reducing visibility a little bit at this point. And wind chill is certainly a factor. It feels more like -10 in the city right now. And in Claresholm, -13 with the wind chill in Pincher Creek, and -17 in Medicine Hat. So certainly some wind chill, but yes, as we just talked about, wind chills in the -20s at times tomorrow because the winds will be gustier and the temperatures will be even colder. We're not going to get above -11 just as a base temperature in the city. All right, this system, as we talked about yesterday, predominantly impacting the far south, and that's been the story, but as you can see, it's starting to slowly track up to the north. So it should be in Calgary around 7 p.m. Some models showing not arriving until 10 p.m. This won't be a huge snow event for Calgary. Certainly it's a big snow event for the far south, which is why there are snowfall warnings in place there. I'll give you an idea of timeline here. And by about 7, that's when we get into our chance in the city of getting the snowfall. And then this is mainly an overnight thing for Calgary. And then by the time we get into 8:30 in the morning, it should start to taper off and move on out, but it will still be impacting the south, especially that southeast corner throughout the day tomorrow. And then it's out of the way. Now, when we look at snowfall totals and what we can expect, again, this is why we're looking at heavier amounts expected for the far south. So 20 centimeters certainly likely in Pincher Creek, 15 to 20 in Lethbridge, and then about 20 in Milk River. But as we track up Highway 2, Calgary looking at 2 to 5 centimeters with this one. And again, most of that falling overnight and early tomorrow morning. So what that does mean is it may impact your morning commute if there's still some snow falling out there for tomorrow, reducing visibility, slick road conditions certainly possible, and they're already a little slick in some spots anyway. All right, and that's why we have the snowfall warning in place in the bold yellow here. Environment and Climate Change Canada has changed the way they issue their warnings. So right now, snowfall warning is in yellow, Pincher Creek, Lethbridge down to Milk River, and in this outlined area here, basically east of QE2 and Highway 2, dense fog, and that's why there's a fog advisory in place. All communities will see some fog. Visibility is reduced. So in Pincher Creek, for example, it's down below 2 kilometers and around 2 kilometers for Lethbridge, and we'll keep reducing in Calgary as well as we go and as the snow starts to fall as well. All right, looking at that longer range forecast, -10, -11 as our high for tomorrow, and at times with the gusty conditions, it will feel more like -20, even -21. Flurries tapering off in the late morning hours, mainly cloudy for the afternoon. -8 by Saturday. We won't get above freezing until Monday of next week.
Thank you, Danielle. After 2 years of construction, the west runway at YYC has reopened. We'll tell you how strengthening that strip sets Calgary International Airport up for decades to come. The City of Calgary is backtracking on a memo stating federal funding from housing had been paused. An email to councillors from administration last week said the Housing Accelerator funding was on pause pending the discussion about blanket rezoning. The city now says the final payment could be held if the rezoning issue isn't figured out by March. Mayor Jeremy Farkas also had some FaceTime with the Prime Minister this afternoon. The brief talk focused on collaboration across all levels of government.
The Prime Minister has been incredibly generous with his availability to me personally, my members of council, very interested, engaged in the work that we're doing, not just in building local infrastructure, as he alluded to in his remarks about major transit infrastructure, recreation facilities, and so on.
Some councillors are eyeing cuts to the downtown conversion project, which aims to turn vacant office space into homes. City budget decisions have been delayed. They are not likely to come until next week. Stricter measures are coming for commercial truck drivers in Alberta. Class 1 tractor-trailer drivers will have to provide their driving records when they move to a new job. It's an effort to have a record follow the driver instead of their company. Alberta's transportation minister says it will make it easier for companies to know who are the good drivers and who are the bad ones before they get behind the wheel. The new rule will be phased in starting December 1st. A full rollout is slated for June 1st of next year. The west runway at the Calgary Airport has reopened following a 2-year, $200 million refurbishment. A ribbon-cutting ceremony on the runway took place today. It was constructed with 90% of recycled material from the old runway. The new one is designed to last the airport growth expected over the next 40 years. Officials say it will also save around 5 minutes of taxiing on the tarmac for some flights.
What will happen is that you're still going to have some traffic over to the south. We work hard with our ATC provider to minimize. There's a lot of procedures around early turns to ensure that we're mitigating where we can. What it means to the community and to the northwest is that you're going to see far fewer flights that went over in the summer months during construction. From a traditional noise perspective, we're going back to how this airport is operated when we had the 2 runways pre-construction.
The first commercial passenger plane will land on the runway tomorrow. The runway will be fully operational by December 2nd. Right now in Calgary, it's mostly cloudy and -7 degrees. Danielle will be back with the full details after a quick break. Welcome back. Okay, here's the good news. It doesn't last forever.
Right.
This cold snap.
Nothing lasts forever.
No.
Yeah, we'll be above freezing by next week. We can make it to next week.
Anyone can do that. A couple of days.
And this is festive. I mean, go to the indoor Christmas markets and stuff like that and enjoy the snow and the cold to get you into the spirit. -7 is that current temperature. That's just the base temperature. It feels into the -teens at times with the wind. -2 was today's high. Normal is 0. All right, tomorrow even colder. -10 is the best we'll get, if that. And with the wind chill, because we're looking at winds gusting 20 to 40 kilometers per hour, at times it will feel well into the -20s. Now, the snow should taper off in the morning hours, mainly cloudy in the afternoon. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. The University District is kicking off the holiday season tonight. There'll be shopping, entertainment, skating, and a tree lighting ceremony at 6:30 in the Central Commons Park. The first 300 guests will receive jingle bells to help bring in the magic. If you can't make it to the market tonight, there is also one next Thursday night. Thank you for joining us. For breaking news anytime, you can go to our website, ctvnews.ca/Calgary. Now, here is the early edition of the CTV National News.